When I travel, I really like to immerse myself in the local culture, and a big part of that is visiting the temples and exploring how other people practice their religion. And some of them are just absolutely incredible. So here's a list of the top 5, well, strangest temples in the world that I have had the opportunity to visit. Number 5, the NORLUND Chapel in Ontario, Canada. So here in Ontario, Canada, in a town aptly named Emo, a town so small that if you happen to look down at your dashboard and look right back up, you're gonna miss it. But Emo, Ontario has a claim to fame when it comes to the strangest temples in the world, and that's this place right over here. This is the NORLUND Chapel, and this makes our list at number 5 because this is the smallest church in the world. The space inside is just 8 feet by 10 feet, only enough for maybe 1 or 2 people. As the story goes, the steeple was originally part of Emo's St. Patrick's Church, which was struck by lightning and burned to the ground. The steeple and cross had collapsed into the blaze but were salvaged by a resident of Emo, Elmer NORLUND, who this chapel is named after. Well, Elmer and his wife briefly considered building a windmill with it, but settled on building a small roadside chapel instead. So in 1973, Elmer and his friend Ed got started by building a scale model, and in August of 1973, the NORLUND Chapel opened its doors. Around 7,000 signatures were recorded in the guest book during its first year, and it has remained open to the public ever since. So if you're driving across southern Ontario, stop by and pop inside one of the strangest temples in the world, which in this case just happens to be the smallest church in the world. Number 4. The Temple of the Pythons in Ouidah, Benin. So continuing the countdown of the strangest temples in the world, I'm in Ouidah, Benin in West Africa at the famous Ball Python Temple. This voodoo temple is unique amongst other voodoo temples in Africa in that its permanent residents are hundreds of live ball pythons. It's officially known as the Temple of the Pythons, and it is a sacred and historical place. It's a living testament to the intricate interweaving of spirituality, tradition, and nature that defines the region. As you step through the gates, you are immediately greeted by visions of pythons that grace the walls, a symbol of divine connection and reverence. Alright, so we've got to take off our shoes to go into this temple here. Alright, so we're going into the Temple of the Pythons. Look at this. There's a whole pile of ball pythons here. But you gotta watch where you walk because there's pythons all over the temple floor here. There's even a few up on this ledge. So the voodoo followers of this temple, they will take all of these pythons and put them down below with the holy water, and then they will all sit around this circle here and pray to the ball pythons. The pythons here are not merely symbols. They are the living embodiments of the spirits that hold a special place in the hearts of the locals. For generations, the people of Benin have maintained a unique relationship with these gentle pythons, believing them to be messengers between the physical and spiritual realms. As you walk through the temple grounds, you'll witness devotees engaged in prayers, offerings, and rituals, seeking guidance and blessings from these sacred creatures. Inside the temple, the pythons have made a permanent home, and the practitioners actually pray directly to them. What do people usually pray to the ball pythons for? What do they ask the ball pythons for?
Health.
Health?
Family, good business, long life.
Those are good things to ask a ball python for. Because ball pythons, as we know, have heat pits, the followers of this voodoo temple will carve those heat pits into their faces to show their solidarity with the ball python. So the ball pythons in this temple were actually brought here from the villagers in this town so that people could pray to the ball pythons. And again, they can only ask for positive things from the ball python, because if they ask for negative things, that's going to bounce back and it's going to affect them. This peaceful coexistence between pythons and humans cannot be found anywhere else on Earth. After spending only a moment here, it becomes evident that this place is not just a physical structure. It's a living sanctuary where spirituality, tradition, and nature converge. The temple stands as a reminder of the enduring connection between humanity and the natural world, a connection that has shaped the cultural tapestry of Benin for centuries. In all my travels around the world, touring strange places, especially strange temples, this is the most incredible and magical temple I've ever been in, but I could be a little biased because, well, this is the Temple of the Ball Pythons. Number 3, Temple of the Monkeys in Bali, Indonesia. I'm in northern Bali on the north side of the island right now. You know, when people come to Bali, especially tourists, they go to a place called the Monkey Temple or the Monkey Jungle. It's in Denpasar, and it's just full of tourists. And when I travel, if tourists go that way, I go that way. All right, we're going in to the Monkey Temple. Look at how cool this is. The first thing we had to do before we entered the temple was dress appropriately, and that meant putting on a ceremonial sarong. I have so much camera equipment in my pockets that it's making me look hippie. One of the things that I love about the Hindu culture here in Indonesia is just how intricate and beautifully designed everything is. And then you've got these statues like this here, and there's something so unique and so beautiful about this culture here in Indonesia. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see a ceremony here as I kind of hoped that we would. It's just about 5 o'clock in the evening here, and so there's nobody here. But we can kind of walk around and see the architecture and how architecture, you guys know what I'm talking about, but just walk around and take in how beautiful and unique this temple actually is. Oh, look at this. Look at these monkeys right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I disturb you? Were you finished? What are you gonna do with that stick, buddy? That monkey is gonna whack me with that stick. If you hit me with that stick, buddy, I am gonna spank the monkey. So if you're wondering what kind of monkeys these actually are, they're not actually monkeys. These are long-tailed macaques, or we can just call them monkeys. Come here, sweetheart. There you go. Hey. Yeah, that's right. That's what you get. Good job, buddy. Good job. A dog's eating a dead monkey. All right, well, bon appetit there, Pooch. Number 2, the Chameleon Temple in Abomey, Benin. This is Abomey, Benin. This is where voodoo originated, and behind me is a chameleon-shaped voodoo temple. Y'all know I love reptiles, so this place is especially amazing to me. But if this chameleon-shaped voodoo temple wasn't awesome enough, right now there is a voodoo service happening in the chameleon temple, and we have been invited to go and attend the ceremony. I am fascinated by this religion, and I wanted to learn more about how voodoo is practiced in this region. And the best way to get a glimpse of this colorful and vibrant religion is, of course, to go directly to the temples. So look at this. Chameleons have bulbous eyes that move independent of each other, which means that eye can be looking forward while the eye on the other side can be looking backwards. And man, they got it just perfect. So in all the temples that I've explored all over the world, this one is probably the coolest one I've ever seen, and it's also the most remote. It took us a couple of days to get up here just to check out this temple. And man, again, so worth it. I've never seen any other temple anywhere in the world quite like this. And then, one of the most incredible things I've ever witnessed anywhere in the world began. We later learned that we were the first Westerners ever to be invited inside the building during a ceremony, let alone to film it. Standing here, realizing how unique of an experience this is, your head kind of swells with disbelief, and not one of the practitioners looked at us as if we were outsiders. They were all very welcoming. Still, I couldn't help but to feel like I was intruding somehow. I have traveled this entire world and I have seen some incredible things before, but that was the most incredible thing I have ever got to witness. Wow! Number 1, the Temple of Hell in Chonburi, Thailand. And finally, we get to number 1 of the strangest temples in the world. I'm here in Chonburi, Thailand, about an hour and a half south of Bangkok, and I'm here at the Temple of Hell. So in the Buddhist faith, if you follow the Buddha, listen to his teachings, and live your life according to his teachings, goodness, a wholesome life, luck, money, all of the good things in life will await you. But if you are an evil person, if you have malice in your life, if you don't follow the teachings of the Buddha, this is what awaits you in the afterlife. These tall, grotesque humanoid figures are known as prets, or hungry ghosts, and they are considered one of the 6 forms of existence and torment humans in hell. They are believed to have been corrupted, deceitful, jealous, greedy people in a previous life, and as a result of their karma, they are now afflicted with an insatiable hunger. They can scream an ear-shattering scream and are just one of the many beings that await to torment you in hell. In Buddhist cosmology, hell is known as Narakas, and it's believed to be a series of cavernous layers which extend below the ordinary human world, and the torments you will experience here are often extremely severe. Each one of these horrific depictions of people with animal heads, bird heads, rat heads, they all symbolize a punishment in Buddha hell. This one is for those who steal. They are named as the spirits of the birds. The rat symbolizes those who destroy things that aren't theirs. They are named as the spirits of the rats. And this one is my favorite. This one is for those who destroy the wilderness. They are punished to hell, and they are named as the spirit of the deers. Although there are other hell gardens around Thailand, this one is the largest. And the thing I found most bizarre about this place wasn't the statues themselves. It was the fact that families came here with their kids as if it was just an ordinary park. They bought candy and sodas from the street vendors parked at the entrance. Not really my version of a family fun day. My world travels are far from over, so there's definitely going to be a follow-up video of another 5 strangest temples in the world. So until then, guys, embrace your strange and rattle on.